Welcome back to another engaging video. In today's video, we'll be looking towards a very important topic related to, I would say, not only academically, but also it is very much important for a day-to-day life. The use, mathematical use of a daily life application of this chapter is this topic is very important. So let's see which topic we are gonna learn today. So it's about lines and angles. This plays a very important role in our day-to-day life also. um, let's see what we have with us today. So uh, before we actually go into the actual topic of lines and angles, we should know the basic terminologies which we use, which will be very much helpful in knowing lines and angles deeply. So first, very common basic term of this you should know is a point. Now, what is a point? Or else you can also say it as a vertex. If not point, then you can also say it as a vertex. So now what it is a point that has no component, and it is represented one simple single dot, you will say. So a simple dot is known as a point. You can also say it as a vertex. Okay, now next we have is a line. So a line can be defined as a straight set of points that extend in the opposite direction. Okay, a line which extends in both the direction, that is known as a line. How you can represent this? So you can represent this with the help of this. See, it will have arrow in both the sides, and it indicates that it's extending in both the direction. Now next we have a line segment. So line segment, it does not extend. Okay, it has a finite distance. A line segment is a part of a line with two endpoints. It will have endpoints. Okay, it will not extend neither in one direction or in both the direction. It will never extend. It will have a definite distance. Okay, it is the shortest distance between the 2 points and has a fixed length, and this way you can represent your line segment. So remember, there is a difference between a line and a line segment. Line extends in both the direction, whereas in line segment it doesn't extend. It has a definite distance. Now next we have with us is ray. So a ray is a part of a line which extends in one direction. Okay, it starts from one point and it extends in one direction, either left, right, north, south, east, west. It can extend in any direction, but it should start from one single point and it should go in one different direction. So as you can see, it starts from one point and it ends at the, that's why there is an arrow only at the one end, not at the both the ends. If you will put arrow at the both the ends, then it will become a line. Okay, but it's not a line, it's a ray. So ray will have one point, start point, and one uh, arrow which will go in the opposite direction, which will extend in opposite direction infinitely. Okay, next we have is a collinear and non-collinear points. Now collinear and non-collinear points, they are very basic. Collinears means the points which lie on the same line, which will be on the same line. Okay, and the collinear points are, non-collinear points are the points which will not be on the same line, as you can see over here in this. So this first image, if you will see, so all these points, that is P, Q, R, they all are on the same line. So that's why this will be known as a collinear points. Whereas if you will see X, Y, Z, they are scattered. Okay, they are not on the same line. They are here and there. They are scattered. So that's why they will be known as a non-collinear points. I hope till now it's clear with you all. Now let's move towards the next important, I would say, a very much important topic, that is angles. Now what are angles? So angles are basically nothing but it's a form of two rays. When two rays, together they come, they make an angle, and they should have one same endpoint with them. So when two rays begin from the same endpoint, then they form an angles. And always remember, we always measure angles in degree. Okay, so now let's see here with an image with us. So these two straight lines, you can call it as two rays. Okay, this is a vertex, this is a point. These two are having the same end point and they are going in the different directions. Okay, so when two arms or two rays, uh, they begin from the same end point, that is this vertex, you can call it as a point also. So they form an angle. Okay, and we are having, and all we measure angles always in degrees: 45 degree, 108 degrees. Okay, so we always measure them in degrees. So this is basic about the angles. Now next, see different types of angles. So first we have with us is an acute angle. So acute angle, if the inclination between the two arms is less than right angle. Now what is over here right angle? Right angle is of 90 degree. Okay, right angle means 90 degree. So if the inclination between the two arms, let's just say like this way. Okay, so these are the, this is first arm, this is second arm. If the inclination between these two is less than 90, then we can call it as an acute angle. It should be less than 90 and greater than 0. Okay, less than 90 and greater than 0. Now next, right angle, if it forms an angle of 90 degree, that is straight, it should be a 90-degree angle we represent with the help of, a small we make over here, this call it as a 90-degree symbol. Now next we have an obtuse angle. So if the inclination between the two arms is more than right angle, that is, if it should be greater than 90 degree and less than 180. Let's just say I have 120 over here. Okay, so for an obtuse angle, what you can say, it should be greater than 90 degree and should be less than 180 degree. Now next we have is with us is complementary angle. So if the two angle sum up to 90 degree, if you are having two angles with you and when you will add them, and if the addition is coming as 90, then you can call them as a complementary angle. Let's just say I have your angle with me, and this one is 45 and this one is also 45. So addition of both of these should come as 90 degree. If it is coming 90, then we can call them as in complementary angle. And the next we have with us is in supplementary angle. So if two angles, and you have two angles with you, and when you will add them, then they should add up to 180. Now let's just say here I have, let's say 120 with me. Okay, let's say here I have 120 and here I have 60. So when I will add both of them, I should get sum as 180. Then I can say these two are like these two are supplementary angles. Have adjacent angles. Now adjacent angles are the angles which are, you can call it them neighboring angles, the ones which are next to each other. So as you can see over here, A and B, they are next to each other, so that's why we can say they are adjacent angles. Or else you can say if they are having a common vertex. Okay, two angles which have a common side, okay, and then they have a common vertex, are known as a adjacent angles. So this A point, point A, vertex A is common for this also and this also. So that's why we can call it them A and B adjacent angles, or you can say neighboring angles. Okay. Now next we have is the corresponding angles. So corresponding angles are the pairs of angles formed on the same side of the transversal line. Okay, that are either both obtuse or both acute. are called as corresponding, or in a simple basic way, if you will see, now suppose if you are having two parallel lines and one transversal line crossing the two parallel lines, so if it's making an F, okay, it should make an F. So these two angles will be known as a corresponding angles. Okay, very simple. Now next, vertically opposite angles. So the two angles which form opposite to each other, they should be in a opposite direction to each other. So then you can call it as they should make a, in a simple word, if I will say you, so they should make an X. So if you are making an X, so these two will be equal and these two will be equal. So they are known as an vertically opposite angles. And the next one we have with us is an alternate angle. So alternate angles that occurs on opposite sides of the transversal line, okay, or simple, very simple way, if I will say, so it should make a Z. So this and this, these two angles will be same. So for corresponding angles, they should make an F. For vertically opposite angles, they should make an X, and for an alternate angles, they should make a Z. Okay, so if you are getting an angles in these forms, then they are respectively known as their if F, then corresponding, if X, then vertically opposite angles, and if it's they are making Z, then they are known as an alternate angles. Now let's see the next one we have with us, different types of angles, different types of lines. Okay, the way we are having different types of angles, in the same way we have with us different types of lines. Okay, so now intersecting lines, the lines that cross each other from a particular point is called intersecting line, or else you can say the lines which is making an X, they are known as an intersecting lines. Okay, parallel lines, the two lines which are going in the same direction, they are known as parallel lines, and they do not intersect each other. This should be the, if they are intersecting, then they will be known as an intersecting lines. But for parallel lines, they should not intersect each other and they should go in the same direction. Okay, they do not meet at any point in a plane. Okay, now next we are having is a transversal line. As I said in my previous slide, transversal lines, when a line intersect with two lines at distant point. Okay, now suppose I have two parallel lines and one line is crossing. Okay, this both the lines, this line is known as a transversal line. Now next we have with us is a perpendicular line. So perpendicular line are the lines form a right angle with each other by meeting at a single point. Okay, for example, if I am having this one line with me and one another line over here which is standing, and it should make a 90-degree angle. So then you can call these two lines as a this line as a perpendicular line. So this line is perpendicular on this line. Okay, it should make a 90-degree angle. Okay, easy. I hope you have understood today's topic and learning. I know it's a bit of a too much in one slide, but if you will go through with this, pause it, listen to it again, and then you will come to know the concept in an easy way. Do like, share and subscribe, and do let me know if you have any query in the comment section below. Thank you. Happy learning.